Hello, welcome to ACE Manager. Process and Governance Focus. ACE 44. Promoting Decisional Thinking, Delegation of Authority. Promoting decisional thinking among managers is a prerequisite for managerial effectiveness. In some organizations, important issues which require the attention of the CEO are decided by middle-level managers who may not be clear on the implications of what they are deciding. In some organizations, trivial matters go to the top. Decision making at appropriate levels is essential for proper governance. It is also the responsibility of the CEO to put in place a document on delegation of authority. When we talk of authority, what comes to mind commonly is check signing authority. In fact, the origin for decision making is elsewhere in the process. I call it commitment control. Once a commitment is made on behalf of the organization, which usually happens through release of a purchase order, subsequent stages like receipt and approval of goods, certification of vendor invoice, and release of payment are incidental. Though there is some responsibility associated with these stages, commitment on behalf of the organization is the most important step as a decision. We need to have clarity on what are important decisions which are taken in the organization. When I asked some managers what decisions they usually took, they were not comfortable. Either they were not keen on sharing them because such an authority could be taken away from them, or they may be unclear on decisions taken by them. While developing a document on delegation, CEOs need to spell out which issues should come to them for decisions. They could also state for which decisions they need to be in the loop. If we do not place proper authority at appropriate levels and every matter travels to the top, we will be reducing managers to machines who will wait for instructions without taking right initiatives or responsibility. Monetary limits are relevant, but some decisions are independent of such limits, as you will see in some examples that I will be sharing with you. Similarly, if an organization has a good budgetary control process in place, but budgeted items of expenditure, authority could be with the functional managers, and only unbudgeted items may need to go to higher-ups. Centralized control may be relevant to some extent in a war-like situation, but not certainly in a business organization. More so when there is a structured organization in place with defined roles and responsibilities. If the CEO does not have confidence in his managers, he should hire the right competence. Independent of his trust or otherwise, he could set right procedures with proper controls in place. In the case of financial decisions or decisions involving financial computations, they should pass through the concerned financial executives before they go to higher-ups for approvals. Similarly, technical issues require vetting by the concerned technical personnel. Finally, implementing a delegation of authority calls for proper information infrastructure to ensure generation of authentic data on decisions which could be taken appropriately. Let me explain to you how a delegation of authority document was developed by me for an organization with which I was associated. It was a company offering process engineering solutions and was executing turnkey contracts. It had good focus on processes and was ISO certified. I picked up the ISO procedure manuals of the company covering all functions. Listed on my whiteboard all the decisions taken as appearing from the manual function-wise. I covered marketing, operations, purchase, personnel or HR, administration, finance and secretarial. Having listed all the decisions as I could gather from these ISO procedure manuals, I asked each of my colleagues who were the functional heads to review and add, edit to any of the decisions listed. Examples of such decisions in marketing were bid no bid, approval of price for quoting, giving reduction in price during negotiations, accepting the order received from the customer, and so on. For all the listed decisions, monetary limits were tagged to each managerial level involved in the decision making. For example, approval of price for quoting could be up to rupees 500,000 with a manager, up to rupees 5 million with a general manager, and above rupees 5 million could be with the managing director. There were also items without monetary limits. One of such examples was quoting for unproven technology, for which authority was given only to the managing director. I was aware of an instance where the organization conducted successful lab test for a process involving a new technology, quoted and accepted a job with performance commitments, and failed on the commercial scale. This prompted me to place such an authority with only the managing director. This document was well received. In fact, it was adopted by all its group companies. Trust I have been able to share a process which would promote decisional thinking amongst managers. Thank you for your attention.